let's just find a comfortable seat. You can sit up on the bolster. We're not going to be here super long because I kind of just want to get us moving. So if you want to use the bolster, if you have never sat on one, just kind of put your sitting bones up to the edge so that if you can take the shins down on the mat, you can either do heel to heel or you can even just cross your shins with the knees up. So whatever's comfortable, but we really just want to feel the pelvis tilt forward, lengthening the low back. And then you can take hands on belly, hands on knees, whatever feels more organic to you at this moment. So if you feel like you want to just connect with baby or just be a little bit more open. And so I'll take a big breath in through the nose. Let it out your mouth. And as you arrive here on your mat tonight, start to feel your breath. And this breath will wash away what came before this class. So the day, letting go of all the stress, any anxiety, any heaviness that we're carrying here, physically and mentally. And then just start to breathe that breath into your belly. Let it fill the belly, nourishing the baby. And then as you exhale, just feel the baby hugging back in towards your body. Inhaling, breathing big into your belly. Fill it through the sides, through the low back. And then exhale, just relax it back in. So as you continue to breathe deep into your body, let your breath either, if you feel like you want to breathe out the nose, if that's comfortable, do that. If it feels better to breathe out the mouth, feel free. So just creating some nice fluid space, movement of the breath. And you can start to let that breath travel from belly up through your side ribs, up into your chest. And slow exhale all the way down. So breathing belly, ribs, chest. Exhale all the way down. And just breathing to your lung capacity, whatever that is. When I was pregnant, it was really hard for me to take a deep breath. So just go where you can, not forcing it. Relaxing the forehead, the jaw, the mouth. Let's take a couple more. And taking one last big breath in and slow breath out. And just returning to a normal, natural breath. So let your body just absorb this energy, this movement of energy that we've created. Let your baby feel nourished by the breath. Bringing your palms together in front of your heart. Taking this moment to just set an intention that might be really simple. Maybe it's just a way to feel good tonight in any capacity, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Maybe it's just getting through the rest of this pregnancy journey with grace or with whatever comes in, whatever we're receiving, being able to align with those changes. So offering this practice to that intention, we'll come together with 3 rounds of Om. So we're going to stay on our bolster just for a moment, and we're going to start to find some gentle movement in the pelvis before we get off of the bolster and out of our seat. Okay, so I want you to just bring your hands, again, you can keep them on your belly, or if on your knees is a little bit more stable, we're going to just start to find a little bit of rocking. So almost like cat-cow. So let your chest kind of move forward, create that little arch in your back, low back, and then exhale, just rounding, rocking back. So just concentrating more on how you can tilt your pelvis forward in that cow pose and then back on your cow pose. And you can get the shoulders involved if that feels good. If not, you can just stay upright and just kind of move a little bit. So getting the hip flexors to open up a little bit, those muscles of the low back. Good. Just feel how this movement is fluid in your body. Try to create a little bit of that fluidity rather than trying to feel like it should be a certain way. So just feeling it in your body for another few moments here. You can feel baby hugging back and in. You're kind of bringing baby on a little journey with you. Rocking forward and back. A couple more. Good. Okay. And then let's turn it into some circles. So you can start to get the upper body involved as you circle. Maybe getting some tension out of your back. Good. And then you can go the opposite direction. Beautiful. Good. And then let's returning back to center. Let's take our arms out and up. Breath in, and then exhale. We'll take a side bend to the right. So taking it over to the right. And bend your your bottom arm if that feels better. Good. Let's take it back up. Inhale, and then exhale over to the other side. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale again to the right. We're just going to find this fluid movement. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Good. Back up. And to the right. Last time. Good. Inhale up. Last time on this side. Exhale. And inhale, rise up. As you exhale, release. Just give your shoulders a little shrug up and back. Okay, we're going to move off of our seat. So very gently, just come to tabletop. You can set your bolster to the side. And in your tabletop, let your fingers spread wide as always. Press through your finger pads, thumb and first finger, especially hugging in. And then just create that cat-cow action here, inhaling all the way up to the crown of the head and exhale round and hugging baby back up and in. Good. Inhale, open. And just going as far as you can. So you might be restricted on the cow pose as you will feel a little bit more tension on your belly. Good. So just using the breath here, pushing out of the floor with your fingertips. Beautiful job. Okay, let's return back to center. Go a little side to side, just looking over one shoulder and then the other. So letting your hip kind of move towards the shoulder you're looking over. So you get a nice side bend in the opposite side. Good. Beautiful. Coming back to center. We're going to keep our tabletop, but we're going to just rock forward and back. So I think we've done this before. I want you to find an inhale here, just kind of through neutral. And then tuck your tailbone under like cat pose and just start to rock back towards the heels, creating some traction in your low back. And then inhale, rock forward. You can just stay in neutral. Exhale, rock back. And just feeling, again, baby hugging up. So feel supported. Inhale, forward. Exhale, rock back. Really stopping where you need a nice stretch. Good. One more. Forward. And back. Good. And then as you come back to center, we're going to take knees a little closer and feet to the edges of our mat. So we'll create a little bit more traction now. Same thing we just did. Inhale. Exhale, round, and just rock back towards your feet. So if this is too much, just come back to the original position of your legs. Inhale. Exhale. This is nice for your sacrum, your SI joints. Good. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round out. Feels really good for me too. Inhale, forward. Postpartum, there's a whole another set of tension. Exhale, back, and it never ends. And then come back to center. We're going to take just a little Gomukhasana leg. So left knee comes into the center. Let's see if we can take the right knee behind the left. So see if this is possible for you. Okay. And then from here, so our legs are crisscrossed. From here, then lean back a little bit. And you can either stay leaning back or continue that rocking. If you need a little more, you can even drop down to forearms. So don't feel like you have to like squeeze, but I want you to just, again, kind of feel some stretch through your outer left hip and breathe. Good. If you feel any pressure in your pubic bone area or baby is kicking you, come out of it. Like, my head's down here. Come back, and then we'll switch. Okay, so left knee behind right. Feet are out to the sides. Knees are together, and just kind of lean back. See how this feels. Might feel strange. You can take forearms down if you want to go deeper. Are you good? Yeah. She's like punching. Get out of here. Okay. Let's undo that. And then from here, let's try to find our first downward facing dog, which will feel nice as we get up and spread the feet a little wider. You can widen your hands. If you want to elevate your hands on blocks to bring more space to your shoulders, just firmly plant your hands on the blocks and push back. Okay? Good. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose again and out through your mouth. Good. Feel free to keep a bend in your knees if you need. And let's do one more breath in. And breath out. Okay. And then from here, let's take our right hand to meet our left thumb. So thumbs touch, step your right foot outside your right hand. Okay, good. And then lower your left knee. So we're going to do just a little sequence here. I'm going to have to kind of move a little bit so you can see. But we're going to take our left foot and we're just going to swing the leg to the right side. So if I'm facing you, it'll be like this. Okay? And then bring your hands out diagonal to the left. And don't overdo it. I want you to feel the inner thigh of your right thigh stretching. But again, there's that edge where, in pregnancy especially, that relaxin hormone kicks in where we feel like, oh my gosh, I can go deeper than I ever thought I could. Don't. Tell yourself to stay in a place that's comfortable, that you can breathe. Okay, now in this position, just lift up through your pelvic floor. Pick up that marble off the floor that we were envisioning. Okay, one more breath. Does it help, that visualization? I think it does, right?
The clock helped me.
The clock?
The clock was good to start, and then I actually.
Okay. Either visualization is good. Okay, we're going to come up. Actually, don't come up all the way. I want you to walk your hands. So I'm going to turn again towards you. I'm going to walk your hands outside the left knee, left hand to left knee. We're going to set up for a little side lunge. Now step your right foot out so it's straight. Stay on your left shin and reach your right arm up. So side plank or gate pose, whatever you want to call it. Right arm can stretch overhead or straight up to the sky, whatever's better. Good, last breath. Okay, then from here, let's take those hands back down. Walk them back inside your leg. Turn your right toes forward. Bend your right knee. Come up warrior two on that left knee. Warrior two. Good. And then from here, take an inhale. Exhale, right forearm to the thigh. Left arm towards the top of your mat for a little side angle variation. Good. Now I want you to push your left hip slightly forward. So think about, again, tucking tailbone just a little bit, turning your pelvis, tipping it backwards. Good. Come back up, warrior two arms. And hands are going to come down. Swing your left foot back. Take it back into a little tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath in. Breath out. Okay, take your left thumb to your right thumb and step your left foot forward and lower your right knee. Good. And then swing your right foot to the left. Okay. And then we're going to come to the right corner, right diagonal, as best as you can. So don't feel like you're overdoing it. Okay, left knee stays over the left ankle as best as you can. And same thing, think about the clock or the marble and really press down. And what helps me is rooting the left foot into the floor. If I push the left foot down, it turns the left inner thigh muscles on. So even though I'm stretching the left inner thigh, I'm creating contraction as well in the muscles. So I'm stable. Okay, and then we're going to slowly walk our hands over to that right side, right knee, outside. Left leg is going to go straight, left arm up to the sky. So gate pose or side plank variation. Beautiful. And pressing your right hip slightly forward. Get a really nice side bend here. You can also hold the belly if you need a little bit more support. Last breath. Okay, let's take those hands down. Inside your legs, we're going to bend the left knee. Turn your toes forward for warrior two. And in your warrior two, press those left foot down, right shin bone. Side angle. Left forearm, right arm reaches overhead. Same thing. Try to tuck the tailbone just a little bit. So we tip the pelvis back. Good. Last breath. And then let your hands come down. Okay. Let's start to walk forward. Swing your leg back. Tabletop. Breath in. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. So now I'm going to give you the opportunity to take a little vinyasa if you'd like. Okay. So we have our options that we know of. We have cat-cow, very simple. We have our bolster under our thighs. So we can bend the elbows, come down to our Sphinx pose, option 1. Little cobra or seal pose, option 2. Or step your hands back and press the arms straight for up dog. And that's a little bit more intense. So as you get further along, it's not going to be the best feeling. Although it might. I don't know. It depends on your body. Okay, take another breath wherever you are. And then sit it back for child's pose. You can use your bolster either under your arms and forehead, or turn it so that it's vertical and lay on it. Good. Give yourself a few cooling breaths here. Let's come back to neutral. Good. Let's take one more. And then we're going to slowly come back to either down dog, or you can come into tabletop if you don't want to go up to down dog. Good. Okay. And then from here, we're going to just slowly, and the way that you can start to walk your feet up towards your hands is just keep them wide. So walk your feet kind of like outside your hips rather than forward in front of your belly, kind of like a waddle. And keep your feet wide, bend your knees. You can grab opposite elbow here. You just kind of have to adjust to your changing body, which is not a bad thing. Okay, halfway lift, hands on your shins. Just press your heart forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's take both hands on our hips. Push your feet down and inhale, rise all the way up. Good. Exhale, arms to your sides. Okay, 3 rounds of our cleansing breath. So inhale, reach forward, turn your palms out. Exhale to your sides. Good. Inhale, forward, press your feet down, look up. Exhale to the sides. One more. Inhale up. Exhale. Good. Let's grab our strap. And I did something a little bit different with the strap. So we're going to take the end of the strap. We're going to make a loop that we can put our hand through. Okay, so you're going to take one end through the rings and then just split the rings and take the end back through. So you're just creating like a loop here. Does that make sense?
So we have the long end. Wait, and then you put it through both strips, right? Put it through just one hoop or both?
So first, go through both. Like go through both. So there's a loop, but it's like not locked, right? And then just split the rings and take the long end back through the one loop. And it should lock. Kind of like an 80s belt. Have you ever had like a belt like that? Yeah.
This is right? But it's not locked.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah, mine's not locked.
Let me see. It's okay. No. That's right.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Okay.
It can move. It can move.
So just the regular loop will make it small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it can move. It's just when your body part is in the loop, it will lock. No, it's fine. I probably like don't explain it very well. So put your dominant hand through the loop and then tighten it so you got a nice grip. Okay. And actually, instead of like putting it on like a glove, turn your palm down. So buckle will be on the inside. Kind of like you're going to hold it, but it's like you got a handle now. Okay. So bring your arms wide, wider than your shoulders. Feet are hips width or wider. Okay, we're going to inhale those arms up. Okay, and then just take them behind you. We're going to just create some shoulder flossing here for a few rounds. So if you're struggling, just bring your hands further. If it's not enough, bring your hands closer. But we just want to make sure that the elbows don't bend. Okay, and then try to put like a tiny micro bend in your knees so we are making sure that we're not bringing any tension to our low back. Good. Using the breath. Just feeling some stretch through the chest, the arms. Good. Let's do one more. Inhaling up and back. Good. And exhale, back up and forward. Okay. And then let's all bring our strap down in front of us. Bring your hands just a tad bit closer. Bring your arms up. And then just go a little bit behind your head and bend your elbows. Yeah. And just hold it here in a place that is, you're not like shaking, but you're feeling that nice stretch. If you feel good enough to kind of lift your chest up, do so. If not, just stay where you are. Take one more breath. Stay with it. And then slowly come up. And down. Good. Shake it out. Okay, take your hand out of the handle. Now we're going to take the strap behind the back and we're going to take the strap on like a glove. So you're going to put the palm of the hand face up. So if you go behind you, palm up, and then opposite hand. So your palms are facing your body, basically. Yep. Okay. So pull the hands apart. Your hands will be maybe a little bit closer now. And now we're going to just draw the arms away from the body. Okay. And then from here, we're going to find just a tiny little back bend. So I want you to bend your knees. Okay. Push your feet down into the floor. Okay. Now I want you to start to straighten your legs. And as you do, lift your chest up. Draw your arms maybe a little bit further back. So it's like a tiny little back bend. If it's too much, just lessen it. Good. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. We're going to turn this into a fold now. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees. Arms will be behind your back and away from your body. Keep your feet wide. Let your belly come through the legs. And then arms can just kind of move away from you, maybe overhead, or maybe just a little bit away from the back. It just depends how far your hands are apart. We've done this in a wide-legged fold. Good. Give your head a little shake. Breathe one more breath. Okay, very slowly. See if you can slip your hand out of the strap and just set it down to the side. Okay. Take a halfway lift. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to step back into our tabletop. So just one knee back, one knee back. Take an inhale, cow pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. And then again, take an inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. Breath out. Beautiful job. And then let's lower those knees again. And we're gonna just sit back on the heels for a moment. Okay, let's take our bolster and we're gonna set ourselves up for a little pigeon. So I wanted to revisit the pigeon with the bolster because I feel like it was helpful to kind of get into those outer hips, the glutes. So if you have 2 blocks, take your blocks in front of you. Okay. And we're going to try to stay upright for a moment and then we can kind of go forward because the bolster is going to make us kind of go forward anyway. Okay. So let's take our right foot forward. And then we're going to just take our blocks, bring them back just to help us heel toe that right foot over to the left. Let your shin come down onto the mat right in front of the bolster. So make sure your knee is down on the floor. So you might have to, walk forward. There you go. Perfect. Flex your right foot. Use those blocks to push out of the floor. So just, again, we're creating some space in the chest. Okay, everybody okay? Okay, lift through your pelvic floor, take a breath. And then as you exhale, feel free to come down. Maybe you walk your blocks forward. I personally like to stay on my forearms. I just think this gets into my outer hip better than going all the way down, but it's really up to you. You can rest your forehead on your forearms. You can take the blocks down a level, but again, try to find that edge where if you feel like, oh, wow, I've never been able to do this, try not to be tempted into that place that is like, oh, this is really, really deep. Try to just stay in that place that you're comfortable with. Good. And then if your elbows are on your block, you can even take your thumbs to your third eye and just kind of bring some energy there. So if this is where you're resting, maybe this feels good for you. Make sure your baby has a lot of space. It's not crushing on your leg. Good. Good. Stay with it. Another few breaths. Coming back to your intention, you can allow the mind to just ease into that offering. Good. Nice and slowly, we're going to come up. And let's swing this back leg forward. So you might want to bend it, or you can just fully come forward. Okay. And you can just kind of stretch your legs for a second. Rock them out. Okay. You can feel free to stay on your bolster. You can come off of it. Keep your legs wide. Okay. Now, we do have a strap. So if you want to take your strap and take your forward fold here, like we've done before, you can do that. Strap around the balls of the feet. And then with this variation, let the body fold same way we do forward folds. So we are hinging at our hips, essentially. We're moving from the hips, not the back. So we don't want to feel like we're rounding forward. We want to sit up tall in this variation. Bend your elbows to bring your chest a little bit more forward, okay? And then just stop where you feel like you need to stop, but breathe into it. Inhale. And then exhale. If you feel like you want to walk your hands forward on the strap, go for it. Relax those shoulders. Think of cow pose with your pelvis. So you're sticking your sitting bones back, your butt back, your heart forward, creating like a little back bend, but essentially it's a fold. So space in the back of your heart. Good. One more breath. From here, slowly come up. And set your strap to the side. Okay, and then we're just gonna switch sides with our pigeon pose. So I want you to bend this right knee, left shin down, left knee down in front of your bolster. Yeah. And blocks are helpful. You can take a couple of breaths, just nice and elevated. Feel that heart opener first. Good. And then really root this left foot, this left shin down. So feel that left glute turn on. And then when you feel ready, feel free to walk your blocks, your arms forward, resting on forearms or thumbs to third eye is nice. You just want to make sure that the weight of your belly is not pulling you down. You want to feel that you're supported, obviously. Good. And most importantly, just breathe. Breathe into your low back. Breathe into your sides. Everything that's holding baby. It's funny, there's a yoga teacher that I was following that was teaching prenatal, and she said, like, you know, when you're pregnant, everything is a shared experience. There's no more just you. It's a shared experience. So whatever you're feeling, you know, baby could be feeling. And it's amazing how we really do things for the good of that other being. We're already moms, even though the baby is not here. We are moms. And that never ends. Well, you will never be alone. So just embrace the comfort that you have now. Okay, we're going to slowly come up. But it is the best thing ever, just so you know. Okay, right leg swings forward. Okay, so shake it out. We're going to come off of the bolster and take a little Baddha Konasana. It's okay. So now bringing your feet a little bit further forward, we're going to take our blocks, and we can use the blocks kind of like a support for our bolster. So you're going to make like a little shelf here, and you may have to adjust it depending on how far down you can fold. But we're going to keep the feet a little further forward so that we can now start to round the back instead of keeping it straight. We want to try to stretch through those low back muscles a little bit. So take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you can start to walk your arms over the bolster. And you might be just here. You might be able to let your forehead come onto your arms. If you can't, you can bring the blocks more inside your legs. Maybe that would be a little better, but it just kind of depends. So you could be here. I prefer it a little further, and then we just kind of work our way into the fold. Okay. And if you're like, oh, this is not really doing much for you, you can also turn your blocks down a notch. So again, don't rush there, but go there if you're feeling comfortable. Good. And then take a few minutes here just to rest. Okay. Anybody need an adjustment? Everybody good? Feeling crunched in?
Yeah. But then if I go out, I can't make it down to my head. I don't know if that's the goal.
Can you go like this? Let me see. Let's try this. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Perfect.
Okay. It's just that little tiny adjustment. Okay. So again, breathe into the low back. Breathe into the space behind your heart. Breathe into any areas of tension. It's nourishing breath. It's just moving the energy that might be stuck or stagnant. We'll be here for another 30 seconds to a minute. So if you want to deepen it, feel free. You can also, like I said, turn down the blocks a notch or just set the bolster on your feet. Mm-hmm. Good. Let's take one more breath. And slowly just start to come up. Very slowly. Okay. And you can take your legs out into a little straddle, just getting some blood flow back to the legs. Okay. So since we have this kind of set up for us, we're going to turn this bolster to the right leg. We're going to kind of put it inside the right leg. And take your left foot inside your right leg, or Janu Shirshasana. Okay. Yeah. And then we're going to take right arm and we're just going to take it on our head. Just let your head rest on your right arm. Okay. Left hand can come onto your hip. You can hug the baby, the belly, or you can reach it up to the sky and like a side bend over towards that right leg. So kind of like side angle, but we're just kind of on our bolster here. Good. And if it's too much to keep the arm up, you take it on your hip. So you should be feeling a big stretch through the left side of your body. Mm-hmm. And again, you can play with the level of your bolster. Just depends on your body. Good. Take another couple of breaths. Nice and slowly. Let's come back up. So just release the hand from the head. Take a little turn towards, so right hand is going to just come behind you to fingertips. Left hand can just push a little bit on the knee and just take a little twist to the right. Yeah, to the straight leg. Should feel good. This is a nice open twist. Beautiful. And then we'll come back to center. And then we'll switch. So straddle your legs and just move your bolster over to the left. Make your Janu Shirshasana leg. So right leg, right foot into left leg, to left thigh. Okay. Left hand can come onto your bolster. You can rest it on your head. Right arm can reach up and overhead. You can drape it over your head. You can place it on your hip. So just do what feels best in your body. Mm-hmm. A couple more breaths. Slowly release, rise up. Okay, taking your left hand behind you. Right hand can just press on your knee and just turn through your upper back. So we're not trying to twist from our belly. We're just twisting from the bottom of the ribs and up. Good. And slowly unwind. Let's take our bolster to the side. Okay. And stretch out your legs one more time. Just give them a little shake. Good. And legs wide, just real quick. One forward fold to seal it in. Inhale up. And then exhale either to the sides or the feet. Just let your body come forward. Good. And slowly come up. And it's quite all right if you can't reach your feet. Okay. So.
Feeling where like it stops.
Yeah, it stops you. You might want to widen your legs a little more too. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta make that space, girl. And then we're going to set up for Shavasana. So we can take our two blocks again. One block at the highest height, one on the medium height, and place that bolster on your blocks, just like a ramp. That second block is going to be a little bit closer to the first block so that it is sturdy. Place your your hips up and rest. Good, good, good. Does anybody want a second bolster under your knees? Okay. Because we can let ourselves feel really good this way. Anybody else? I have more. Okay. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Slip this guy under. Yeah. How's that? Perfect, guys. Yeah. What about you, Courtney?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not growing light, but I'll take one.
You're what?
I'm not growing light, but I'll take one.
That's okay. Here we go. Is that good? Yeah, so this is called the recliner. Actually, it has a name, a restorative name. It's called the recliner. It's good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a good 5 minutes here. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Is that good? Okay. So let your legs be wide. Let your whole body just feel like you're melting into your props. You're so supported. Take a big breath in through your nose. Let it out your mouth. And really just allow yourself to be still for this Shavasana. to let the breath come back into your body. Just that nice slow breath in from your belly to your heart. And exhale back down. Again, inhale from your belly up to your heart. Exhale back down. This time, breathe from the bottoms of your feet all the way to the top of your head. And exhale down and out through your feet. Finding some small movements through your fingers and your toes. Maybe turning your head side to side, just rocking the neck a little bit. And then as you just start to step the feet in, you can kind of push the bottom bolster away if you have one. Yep. And then stay on your bolster, but just roll onto your left side. So just leaning onto your left side. Take your time to press up, to sit, keeping your eyes closed. And when you get back up to your seat, you can take one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Just feel the connection, baby, into your heart. And just coming back to your intention you're offering one more time, honoring this practice and all the tools that we have at our fingertips to feel like maybe ourselves a little bit more. Feel comforted in our bodies, our changing bodies, and this beautiful shared experience with this other being. And then allowing the sound of Om Shanti 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 to resonate as we chant together and out to all beings. Big inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bringing our thumbs to our third eye as we bow to honor our true self, our babies, and each other. Namaste.